I've done it, Paul.
I knew you would. Wait, what have you done? Wait, you didn't. You didn't. Did you put the beta on your phone?
Oh, you got it.
Oh,
We've been hanging out too long.
I was just weighing that one myself.
We've been hanging out. That's the sign of true friendship. When I don't even, I told him nothing, and he knew.
You never do this. I can't think of a single year.
I usually don't, but I'm not planning to upgrade phones this year. So
Sure.
I didn't do it last year because I was going to upgrade phones, and I didn't do it the year before because I was traveling or something. And so it has been a while since I've actually done this.
So, well, what do you think?
Well, first off, this is like really annoying, and I'm sure I'm not the only one tripping up over this. Anybody who's running the beta, I behoove you to play with the new lock screen stuff for like the home thing, and then
that's what I'm most interested in.
And then try to change the wallpaper that's like behind your icons. Just let me know how this goes for you, because there's no, and I could be dumb, not discrediting this, but typically like I'll have a picture of like my family or my kid or whatever on the front, and then the image that's behind the icons is some abstract thing, because like you don't want to see like this portion of a face or whatever.
Yep.
So when you go to select a different wallpaper for behind the icons, you can't get to the default like iOS wallpapers. It only lets you either change like this gradient thing, or you can go to your pictures.
Oh, that's okay. So this is a clear bug.
I'm hoping it is. The workaround is that you go find the wallpaper online, download it, save it to your photos, and then you can put it behind there.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping they will fix that, because otherwise I'm going to get a lot of call from my parents like, how do I change it? It's like, other than that,
that's obviously a bug. Obviously.
Other than that, it's like, I mean, I shouldn't expect like a revolutionary update from this. The home screen stuff or lock screen stuff, pretty neat, well done, very well done, typical Apple.
Yeah.
Everything else is just kind of like
the same.
You can turn haptics on now for the keyboard, and I turned it off instantly. I guess after 10 years of not having it, turning it on felt really weird.
I always turn it off on Android anyway. Yeah. I don't like that effect on typing.
So turn that off. You can like unsend messages, but they have to be on iOS 16, so that involves absolutely nobody right now. Like, the other weird change.
I'm traveling tomorrow night, and so me putting this beta on my phone is a horrible idea.
I hope it ends poorly. Look, we've got this phone with a stable OS and good battery life.
Exactly.
Let's screw it up with a beta OS and bad battery.
Perfectly good airplane. It just doesn't make sense.
The other one I understand why they've done it. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with it. Is all your notifications on your lock screen now are down at the bottom instead of at the top, which makes sense because then you can just tap them with your thumb. But
it's different than what you used to. Yeah, I don't like the way that notifications work right now in iOS. So I don't know if there were any improvements there. I'll just say I find it strange, and maybe you just don't think about this because you use iOS, but if you think about all the different ways you can deal with a notification, like let's say you got an email, right? So your email app has a little 1 on it. You got a notification down in that notification slider thing or on the lock screen. And then you can go into the app. And if you go into the app, that will just get rid of it. You can, well, actually in iOS, you can't, in Android, you can right click on the icon and get rid of the notification that way because the notification will be in there. And then in Android, if you go up to the notification shade and bring it down and you clear it out, that also gets rid of the notification. But in iOS, when you clear out the notification from the lock screen or from whatever that shade thing is, it doesn't get rid of it. It's not gone. It's just gone from that display. Those things need to be connected. Like I'm saying to you, I don't care about this notification. Why would I want it gone from one place? It's a very illogical way to do it. Anyway, I don't have any hopes they're going to fix that in iOS 16, but
they've also here's my lock screen for everybody who whatever cares. I don't know if you can see like this down here, a little pill thing,
pill looking thing. Yeah, what is that?
It says search, so you can tap that and then start searching. So
does it bring up like an Edge OS thing?
It does not.
With Bing.
I don't know.
Can you get rid of that?
I don't know. I haven't tried yet because I'm very much of the like you just pull down and you can just start typing anyways because they kind of have that thing going. And I'm guessing this is I am guessing this is Apple's Alt tab thing. Like you now get it on the
putting the
taskbar or
UI
whatever
in front of people so they know it's there.
Yeah, and nobody knew about it or something.
Well, it's like the new snap layouts in Windows 11. You move a window around, the thing comes down. You're like, oh, I can do something. It makes it discoverable. Or actually, the search button in Windows 11, same thing. You can get to search like 7 different ways, but and if you know you don't need the thing, you can get rid of it. I mean, at least in Windows 11, you can be like, no, I know how to get to search. I know it's like Windows key plus S or whatever. I don't need this. I hope you can get rid of it. I don't like. I try to get rid of the search box on Android. It's one of my annoyances with the Pixel that you can't on Pixel, and you can on virtually any other Android phone.
Yeah, and this could be complete placebo. It feels faster. I don't know if it really is.
Well, there's something to be said to feeling faster, I guess.
It doesn't feel slower. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, there you go. Does it feel rebootier, or is it just working? Or
it's just, I don't know. Like the beta has been pretty stable for me, so take that for whatever it is that it is.
Yeah, I may do this. It's hard for me to resist. I would just put it on my iPad, but the iPad doesn't have the same level of changes, especially the iPad I have, because I can't use that new multitasking feature anyway. And they're, the way Apple does things, like these lock screen improvements will come to the iPad like a year from now, which is
right.
Just unbelievable. And yet, so
the widgets on the home screen or whatever, I turn them all off. They're completely redundant because I have a watch, and if you have a watch, then it's kind of
okay.
I don't even know what else really is new besides most of that.
I like what they're doing at the lock screen from what I've seen.
Yeah. It works well. Like they've apparently that's all coming to their photos too. I haven't tried that yet, where you can just cut things out of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like a reverse magic eraser.
Let me see if I can't.
Yeah, like pull a person or an animal or something out of a photo.
I'll do this pen. I'll see if I can send you a picture of this pen. Nothing like we'll do it live.
Okay.
I don't
how
know
are you going to
how
send it? You should send it on iMessage.
I was going to try, but how do you actually extract? Maybe it's not in this beta. I don't know.
Oh, that could be too. I don't know. Let's see.
Nope. I mean, I'm assuming I just like tap and hold on it, but that does not appear to be working.
Yeah, I could. It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't in the first beta.
Let me see. Like, what if I do like a picture of my dog? Although he looks a lot like the carpet, so that's probably an issue. Oh no, it worked.
Really? Oof.
Hold on, let me try sending this to you.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yep. Okay. Hold on to your hard hats. Everybody who's listening to this on the audio, even though
we apologize.
There you go.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Look at that. It did something to the dog's legs.
Yeah, they got
like a cartoon or something.
So this is the image that I just sent to Paul. Yeah. This is my dog 2 minutes ago.
In some ways, it's interesting because mine is. You're never gonna see this.
Yeah.
Stupid. Okay.
If I go,
I can't fix that.
Anyway,
here,
try it again.
That's actually that's Google level impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Everybody, well, the online whatever reviews initially said it's got to have a good contrasting background, which makes a lot of sense. I don't know if I have anything that has that.
Yeah, anyone who's tried to use this kind of feature in Photoshop or whatever knows that the bleed effect you get as you go around an object and you're trying to, frame it, and it grabs part of the background or grabs part of the, or deselects part of the body or whatever.
The other interesting thing is so that worked.
I think that looks great.
Well, I was trying to do it on some other photos. Oh my god. Do we have anything with a good contrasty background? What about this one? Oh no, that's trying to select the text. Oh, whoa. Let's see what I just grabbed here. This is a great podcast. Wow, that one's actually fantastic.
Really? Send it along.
So for people who are at home, it's a picture of a beer.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Yeah,
so that's Brad holding a beer can. Yeah, it's like,
and that's
nice because like the edges are hard. That's a
That's actually really impressive. Now,
I,
I was trying
that
to
is
just to
impressive.
select the can, but it selected
Yeah,
the whole thing. But whatever.
yeah,
Still, that's
right,
pretty.
right. I think it looks great.
I
It's
think it's
amazing.
pretty good. So there you go.
Cool.
Speaking of things that aren't cool, there were some layoffs at Microsoft yesterday. I started hitting the Twitters and other various social feeds. It looks like it's a really small percentage. Dina Bass actually got a quote from Microsoft, says it's just some minor restructuring. It's not supposed to be anything major, but as Paul and I noted like 2 weeks ago, if changes happen, they always happen now at this time of the year. So
Yeah, they also put a halt on hiring in kind of key parts of the company already. Like the Windows group is not hiring, and I don't know if it was Office/Microsoft 365 or some other kind of client side part of the company is not hiring either. So, you can have attrition in a couple of different ways, but one of them is to not hire going forward for some amount of time, right? I mean, that kind of accomplishes the same deal, I guess.
yeah. So if you hear any murmurs about that, Paul's also very excited about EdgeOS, which was discovered in a job posting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People who are excited about the possibility of an EdgeOS will be unexcited to learn that there is something called EdgeOS at Microsoft, but it's related to Azure. So, and of course, I almost made this comment when EdgeOS had come up sometime in the past week or two, but when you think about Microsoft's use of the term edge outside of the browser, they talk about edge computing, and edge computing is everything from an IoT device to something sitting on a router to Windows. Anything that is on the edge of the network, so to speak. So of course, we have terms like Windows Core and all that kind of stuff. I mean, EdgeOS is kind of the core part of the commonality of all those things, I guess. So not what people were hoping, I guess, but there you go.
There you go. That's kind of the big stuff, other than Apple's car project supposedly still in shambles. But somebody pointed out there was a great conversation online because apparently Apple's been dumping $1 billion into this for a couple of years, 8 years or something like that.
$1 billion, like a year.
Yeah, and which sounds like a lot until you hear that Apple's R&D budget is somewhere around $22 billion a year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you're like,
did you read the After Steve book yet?
Not yet. It's next on
All
my
right, make
list.
sure you do that. There's a great bit in there about the car stuff and how it's gone up and down, up and down, up and down, and that figure might even be from that book. It's actually really interesting.
Actually, I think this article may have come from the same guy who wrote the book. It's
wrote
from
the
the
book.
information.
Okay. Trip
and,
somebody.
Yeah.
Trip Mickle maybe. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So it's probably based on information in the book and then maybe expanded or whatever. But I'm also reading the Tony Fadell book, which is not. It's called Build. It's not on the same level as After Steve, but it's a lot about personal growth and advice to entrepreneurs and stuff I don't really care about. But he was saying one of the nice things about Apple is there's a big difference between like a startup where you have like this one product and it has to succeed or you're dead in the water and you have to pump everything into it. Or you could be at Apple where they just they're blowing $1 billion a year and don't even notice it because this is some future bet and they're in a position where they can do this they do this with lots of different things.
Yep.
They cultivate and cultivate and cultivate. And it's a different situation where you don't have to be successful immediately. Like if this thing fails this year, the company doesn't go out of business,
Right.
There are no bad ramifications. You learn, you move on, you do whatever you do. And we just talked about the lock screen changes in iOS versus iPadOS, which is going to get those lock screen changes next year. And that's kind of the slow boil that Apple does, So whether the car happens or not, they'll take the time to get it right or just not do it,
Yep.
and we'll see what happens.
They don't have to ever ship anything. I mean, they're going pretty heavy, and Android is doing the same thing. So it's not just Apple, where they started with the little infotainment screen, and now they're trying to take over the entire screens. And it's real obvious what they're doing. They're building the dashboard infotainment system out in the public, and obviously that's will ship in their car if they ever ship it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I don't know, excited maybe is a strong word, but I'm interested in that. I think those companies will do a much better job than anything like Ford or Volvo or whatever would do in-house. I mean, car companies proved decades ago they have no idea what they're doing when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I was just talking about we have a big problem with our car. We have a BMW, so the bill always comes due on a BMW. So in our case, it's like the turbo has to be replaced.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know how much these things cost, but it's like buying a new car. So we're kind of deciding how to handle that. And, I was saying if we somehow ended up with a much cheaper, like Honda, Toyota, whatever, something reliable that would last for a long time, we're going to wonder why we waited, because there's just going to be stuff going on that we just can't take advantage of, because our car's it's not new or anything. It's old, but and a big one is this Android Auto, Apple CarPlay stuff.
Yep.
Like it kind of transforms a vehicle.
It does.
In a meaningful way, So that might be an interesting thing for us to experience at this point. Just the way it is now, is a big advance over my stupid Bluetooth connection that works sometimes.
I think that sums up Bluetooth.
Exactly.